Where's my whetstone? Go. Hopefully that rattling isn't too loud. Whoa, I almost cut my foot off. That would have been quite atrocious. There's the bow. All right, cool. Deer leg bone. So much stuff on here. There's a GoPro mount. Got some 6mm steel letter stamps. Pretty fun. A deer antler. A duct tape ball. Definitely not a smoking pipe for a kinnikinnick. None of you guys know what kinnikinnick is. Actually, some of you may. It's a Native American smoking mixture made out of the red osier dogwood inner bark. They would mix that with tobacco and a bunch of other plants. Man, the thing about sugar maple is it's so smooth to work. It's like it's a really tight grain. At least this specific tree that I cut down. The rings are so close together, and it's not really porous either. Like oak is a really porous wood, but this stuff is like butter. Actually, I have a piece of black locust over here. This is a super hard wood. You can see the rings are really tiny in it. But this stuff is even smoother than this. The only difference is it's a super hard wood. Sugar maple is hard, but black locust is a different level of hard. It's difficult on your tools. Whenever I use black locust with this, it literally polishes my my blade. It's insane. The limbs are starting to get pretty thin here, as you can see. I'll do this limb, get that down to thickness, and then I'm gonna start doing floor tiller, which is where I'll push the limbs on the floor to get them to bend a little bit. And I'll take my card scrapers, which I can't seem to find right now. They're thin pieces of metal. They're pretty decent. German stainless steel, I think they are. And you get a burr on that edge, and you just pull it across the wood, and it takes off these like micro shavings like this, and you can get your limbs fine-tuned. Ganja pipe, yeah. I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to. It would probably jam up really bad in that hole. I'd imagine the resin would cake it up pretty bad. Oh, we got some fireworks over here. These are from the 80s. These are really old fireworks, but they still work just the same, as long as you keep them in a cool, dry place. Oh, you guys want to see something really cool? I found this a while ago. Actually, not too long ago. It's a snapping turtle shell, and I found it on the side of a creek. It was like scavenged by animals and stuff, so no meat was on it or anything. I found the skull nearby too. And it has this species of snapping turtle has these weird bumps on it. I don't know if that's bone cancer or if that's just how the species is, but that would take some fingers off for sure. What am I doing? A guitar? No, I'm making a Selfbow. So it's a primitive bow made out of a tree. So you cut the tree down, and then you take the wood, you split it into sections, which are called staves, and then you dry them out for a year. You seal both ends so they don't crack as they dry. And yeah, you got to wait at least a year for the moisture to get out of the wood nice and slow. Then you can start turning it into a bow. Actually, let me show you the full thing. Hold on. I got it hooked up to a vise right now. So here's the handle section. Here's one limb, and then we got the other limb, and it's about, I think it's 73 inches. Wow, I have like a 1/4 inch of clearance with the ceiling. But this thing is gonna kill an elk or something. I have oh, what do you call it? Where someone commissions a piece for you. Anyways, my friend's dad was like, "Hey, can you make me a bow?" I'm like, "Absolutely, I can make you a bow." So that's what I'm doing here. And people have been doing this for thousands of years, and I'm just carrying on the craft. Hey, what's up, Jason Roberts? Robert, sorry. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to get your name wrong. I say this a lot, but my favorite part of using a draw knife, which is this right here, is the shavings that come off. They're always really cool and twisty and curled up. I don't know. I just think it looks pretty sick, like these right here. And sometimes when you get the right, I guess you'd call it a platform, it's like a rise on the wood, you get a really, really long one. It's not really doing it right now because I'm on the smoother part of the limb at the moment. Oh, here's an arrowhead I made. Actually, I could use this in the bow that I'm making. This is a piece of random chert. I don't remember where I found it. But I turned it into a tiny little point. And I could mount that into an arrow shaft or whatever. That would get the job done all day. So I'll be firing this out of this once it's done. Ooh, I could do antler overlays, like tip overlays. So you have your bow limb on the tip, then you have a piece of antler, and you glue that there, and then your string rests over the antler so it protects the wood because the antler won't, get eroded by the string as fast. Landon, what's going on, Landon? Why is your name James Madison? That's a president, isn't it? Did you bend the wood in the brace as it dries out? No, I don't bend the wood in the brace as it dries out. I cut the tree down and I set it in my basement because it's humidity controlled, and it slowly will take out the moisture in that wood just by naturally sitting there. Some native tribes would do that, I think, with green wood. Wasn't the Lakota? It was somewhere southwest, but they get these really flat pieces of juniper, and they carve those down to a blank while it was still green. Then they would dry that in a brace, and then they would slap rawhide on that with hide glue, and that would give it extra tension, because when a bow bends, it's going to bend back. You have tension on this side, and you have compression on this side. The sinew backing assists it and allows it to not break under the tension, I guess. But you also have to be careful. Too much tension on the back can give you compression fractures on the belly. You smoke, you look high. No, I'm not high. Not right now. I think I was drunk when I made it anyways. Oh, that's all good. Yo, what's up, Argentina? How you doing? Red Eye Patriot. What's going on, brother? Oh, wait, chat's going too fast. It's awesome to see a young man do a manly craft. Yeah, we got it. We're doing the manly bushcraft stuff right now. that's it. All right, back to it, right? That was a good one. See, like, look at this. Isn't that not just the craziest thing ever? That was one single pull. It's like a curlicue. I'm in Florida. No, I'm not in Florida. I'm not going to tell you guys where I'm at. That wouldn't be safe, would it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is such a wonderful state. You have, you got mountains and rivers. You got some nice people. Not in the area I'm at. They're all jerks, but some places you go to, everyone's all friendly. I went down to the south, and I was looking for arrowheads on the side of the road, you know, just picking them up as I walked. And trucks and dudes in the trucks are like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" I'm just like, "What's going on, brother?" Whereas up here, if you're doing that, people will just drive by and be like, "But dang, there's a crackhead walking on the side of the road." So one thing I have trouble with, my reach right here for this limb, it's in this area, so it always seems to get really thin right here and then thick up at the tips. So that's when this guy comes in, the trusty hatchet, and I'll take this on a stump and I'll take it down on the tip there. All right, switching sides. Whoa, that was loud. Sorry about that. So you can see how this is all really thick, and this is not as thick, but it's thinner and a lot smoother too. I want this side in the vise. Yes, I do. This bow has probably about, I would say, 6 hours into it, maybe a little more. And it takes me about 10-ish hours to complete a full bow. Oh, you want to see something really cool? This is from my aunt's house. That's a buffalo skull. There's a painting my great-grandfather did of Snoopy. But yeah, that's a buffalo, I think. I don't know what else it would be, because it could be a cow or something like that. Bow making has different, oh wait, chat's going too fast, bro. Bow making has different techniques depending on the personal preference of the wood used. Yeah, it does. There are so many different styles and methods and crafts to it. Like the Mongolian horse bows, I think those are made out of like, I think it was ram horn actually, and they would have to steam and form the ram horn. They would also do a sinew backing, like the Dakota or whatever tribe used that one I was talking about. It's insane. There's so many ways to make a bow. Some people make them out of PVC pipe. I just look familiar. Well, tell me who I look like. I'll tell you if I look like them or not. I guess that's your opinion, though. I don't know. Oh man, the caulking gun got in the way. Throw that over here. There's another caulking gun. I got some steel wool over here too. When I'm finishing up my bows, I like to put a shine on it with triple odd steel wool. Puts a nice shine to it. I'm gonna come to Florida, Maine. Oh, Florida man, we got crazy fossils and meg teeth. My buddy, History Minute, Tate. He hunts for fossils in Florida, and man, he goes in with a scuba gear in the rivers. Crocodiles everywhere. Actually, alligators, not crocodiles. Sorry, we're not in Africa. But he will just scuba on the floor, and he'll be picking up like horse teeth and shark teeth, megs like that big, and arrowheads too. There are a lot of arrowheads in Florida. Fantastic weed and dabs. I seem like I have a lot of knowledge. Yeah, I can talk about a lot for a long time. Yeah, must be the ADHD or something. I'm not diagnosed, but I don't think a diagnosis is really necessary. Whoa. All right, so here's something I'm noticing. I flipped around the bow, right? And the draw knife is grabbing a lot in the wood. A tree grows like this. It doesn't grow like this, it grows like that. So if I were to cut, let me use these files as an example. So a tree grows like this. And I was just previously working on the tree, cutting along like that, so it was easily gliding. But when you flip it around, like I just did, I'm cutting into almost against the grain, like it's gonna catch in that taper, if that makes sense at all. Yeah, maybe you get it, maybe you don't. New Yorker down here, but I'm also down in Branson. Oh, he's not talking to me. I don't think. Glad you guys are having a lovely little chat. I can't read all the comments. I'm focused on the bow. Sorry about that. What are these? Oh, I think this is mirrors for a laser. Yeah. Oh, and there's some tacks in there too. This is a mirror that goes onto a laser printer. So you have your laser and it bounces around on these mirrors. Wait, I could probably flash the camera. Hold on. No, it's not working. The light's not bright enough. But I could signal somebody from like miles away with this little mirror just because of how reflective it is. I mean, obviously it's reflective. It's a freaking mirror. All right. Draw knife handle's catching on the side. I gotta move my bikes over. One moment. There we go. Oh, wait, I found the card scrapers I was talking about earlier. Yeah, these are card scrapers. So you get a little burr on them. And how you get a burr on them is you take a piece of hard tool steel, like, where's my hardest piece of steel? One moment, please. Take this wrench, hard tool steel, it's chrome. I don't know, I might take the chrome off, but you just press on the steel really hard like this, and it rounds off the edge. So if this is your card scraper, it puts a little burr on the end. And then you take it on your wood and you pull it across and you get these really, really thin shavings. They're great for starting fires too. But that's how you do the fine tuning when you're trying to get the limbs to bend evenly, but you don't want to take too much wood off because then it's easy to mess up, right? Right. Okay. That's too high. That's probably good. There we go. And it's weird to think about the natives doing this with stone tools. It blows my mind, honestly, because they were making these bows just like I am, but I have steel tools, so it's a breeze. This limb's a little thick, so I can take off good chunks here. Yeah, I'm going against the grain now in a way, so it's peeling up and it's not doing it the way I want it to. It'll pick up the wood, and instead of shearing through it, it'll leave a little divot in there. And it's not really visually appealing, and it's also negative for when I get towards the finishing touches and you have little divots in there, and one, it doesn't look nice, and two, you got a divot, the compression isn't going to be there in that area. So you can get dangerous little delaminations and stuff like that. Oh, I was working last night moving packages and stuff. My back's screwed up. Screw it, we ball. Okay, it's getting thick right here. And in this point right there. I gotta whoa! Did you guys see that? The bow almost fell down, man. I gotta reposition this. I got this padding in there so that the teeth and the vise don't dig into the wood and ruin its beauty. Get in there, you. There we go. Wondrous. Ooh, it's a ferro rod. I forgot I had this. I wonder if, will the draw knife do it? It probably will. Hope it doesn't ruin my edge. I don't think it will. It worked. All right, now that stuff is going to be corrosive on the edge. Let me wipe that down real quick. Made my steel vulnerable, man. All right. It's probably going to rust if I don't oil that. Need to sharpen my edge again. Where's my whetstone? I got a mini whetstone. I got a big old whetstone. That one needs cleaned. I need a wire brush for that one. It's full of oil and metal powder. Well, so is this one, but I've had a lot of success with this one. It's a little bit of a finer grit, though. All right. And I don't have a their strobe with me right now, so I'm gonna use the back of the wood case for that. There we go. Oh, it's not grabbing anymore because I sharpened my edge. Silly me. Whoa. Oh, I'm gonna get a bruise there or something. I need to find a cardboard box. Where is a cardboard box? Don't leave the live. I'll be right back. Give me 5 seconds. Cardboard, where are you? Oh, I found one. Oh, that has t-shirts in it. All right, I got one. Oh, wait, no. I can't use this one. Oh, wait a minute. I'll be back. Okay, I got another one. My dog's barking. All right. What was this? Mexican-style, finely shredded blend of Monterey Jack cheddar, queso, quesadilla, and Aserrado cheese. I didn't know that we bought this much cheese. Yeah. Whoa. All right, this will protect my side. Sweet. There we go. Now we're back in business. It's hard working in close quarters doing stuff like this. Get that tip thinned out there. Oh, I can even go higher now because I won't be stabbing myself in the side. How lovely. Wait, I guess I'm a live streamer now. I can say chat. What's going on, chat? So he a real YouTuber. That's right. You know I am. OG Pert. So no one steals my content, I guess, because... Oh, I don't know. Oh, they're talking about weed or something. Weed YouTubers? Is that what you guys are talking about? I like watching The Strange Show. He's a pretty cool guy. I don't indulge, I just enjoy the content. What is that cheese? I think cheese just came out of this box. Oh, it's not cheese. It's just a piece of cardboard. Because I tore up a cheese box. I thought yeah, okay. All right. Back to it. I'm getting sidetracked. What else do I have in here? I have 2 other draw knives. Draw knives, I guess would be the plural. Ooh, this right here is the spring to a... That's the spring to a Colt 25 airsoft pistol. One of the little tiny spring ones. Caught back and it shoots an airsoft BB. Doing. All right. I need to lock in. There we go. Now what I'm gonna do is, because you can see I'm struggling here, obviously. Oh shoot! Thank you, man. Appreciate that. So I'm going to take off wood from the sides, on both sides, and then what that'll do is, in my cross section, it'll leave a rise almost. Then I'll take that top rise off, and then it's flat again. Then you take more wood off the sides, forms a rise, take the center off, and that's how you do this efficiently. But you also have to be careful because sometimes it's so efficient that you take off more wood than you intend, and then you're like, well, shoot, what do I do now? That's my biggest donation. Am I joining the military? Yeah, man, I'm joining the military. That doesn't mean I'm done with YouTube, though. Be aware. Because, like, what if I'm in Germany, and I'm like, I should go walk this cornfield. And I speak German, too, so I can speak to the farmers. I'll say, Darf ich dein, hello? I'm on live, Mom.
We need to go to Philip's game.
All right. I could speak German, and I could be like, Darf ich dein Essenplatz spazieren bitte? And he'd be like, yeah, and I'll go look for arrowheads there. That was my mother. My brother has a soccer game. She just let me know. Or maybe I'm not in Germany, and I'm in Korea. That would be crazy. Because in Korea, they have to have stone tools there. But do they really find them that often? I don't know. Because people came out from Africa, then they went to Europe, spread out there, crossed to Asia, and then they got on their canoes and went to Aboriginals went to Australia, and then yeah, I don't even know, but Australia has some really old stone tools too. Got it. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna put out content though. I'm not done with YouTube, but for the time being, after I leave, I mean, obviously I got basic training and all that. So I'll be getting yelled at by drill sergeants and doing laundry. A lot of people have told me don't pick up laundry because laundry duty's awful, from what I've heard. Yes, sir. Thank you for your appreciation. And thank you for your service. I mean, I really haven't truly served yet, so I can't really be thanked for doing something I haven't done yet, you know? There we go. Oh, but the military is a good way to go. They'll pay for your college if you take the 4-year active duty contract thing. There's a lock. That is a really old lock. What is it? Sleigh maker. Genuine pin tumbler. What other tumbler would you have in a lock? Do other locks not have pin tumblers? That's a master lock. I actually picked this one. I got into lock picking for a hot minute there. This one's interesting looking. It's a wild lock, man. I don't think I can pick that. I could try. I picked a few locks in my day. All right. This side's looking decent. Switching sides again. Whoa. Oh, I have my lines stenciled out here, and my lines aren't entirely finished, right? So when this is all thinned out, then I'll come complete the lines with my lovely draw knife, and we'll be smooth sailing. It takes so many hours to make one of these. Whenever you see somebody with a wooden bow, just know how much time and energy has gone into it. From either getting the wood, if they got the wood themselves, because there are online dealers. There's a fly. Get out of my garage. There's online dealers who will sell pre-seasoned staves. Seasoning is what they call it when it's all dried out. And sometimes they're scammers. They'll just be like, oh yeah, premium staves, and they'll just have pictures on Facebook, and then they send you a piece of crap. That's why I don't buy staves. I would like a piece of Osage. Osage orange is a very nice bow wood. All right, what side was I doing? What side was I gonna do? I don't remember. That's okay. We'll do this side. Whoa, I hit the buffalo head by accident. What's going on, Dad?
Hey.
I'm live on YouTube. I'm a real live streamer. Are you proud of me?
Am I proud of you because you're live streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've made it. Why did you have to say just another day? I don't know. Did I say that? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Guess we'll never know because I don't remember. Maybe you weren't even talking to me. Maybe you were replying to somebody in the comments. Who knows? Not me. And I found instead of pulling straight through, if you almost pull at a diagonal angle, like this, instead of that, you actually, I don't know what the science is behind that. I guess there's a lot more edge that's acting on that wood instead of just one singular point, if that makes sense. Something to think about. Food for thought. I do have a good relationship with my father and my mother. I mean, obviously, they can be a pain sometimes, but that's just growing up, you know? There's gonna be friction. I'll be out of the house soon enough. We'll be all right. What do I do after the military? Now that's the question. That's where things really start. I either stay in the military, or I become like really famous, And I don't know. Or maybe I don't become famous and I go live in the woods somewhere with my wife and my dogs and my kids living off the land. That'd be really cool. I want to live off the land because everything that you buy in the store is genetically modified. It's got chemicals and pesticides on it. And the FDA regulates stuff, but they don't really, it seems like they don't actually care. They just kind of want to, I don't know. It weirds me out. Our government weirds me out. I say that, but I'm going to work for them. Just the chemicals and stuff that is in our stuff that isn't in Europeans' food, I don't know. It makes me nervous. But if you're self-sustaining, which the government doesn't like for whatever reason, I guess because they can't really tax you and make money off of you, then you're actually a lot better off. Well, all the chemicals that go into the food that they are kind of providing for you in a way, all the monopolies that control all that, the monopolies that control the seeds for the farmers, that's pretty screwed up because there's some seeds that you have to buy from big seed company and they only grow if you use a certain pesticide on them. It's horrifying, actually. I don't like it at all. So if I can be self-sustaining, I'm keeping all those chemicals out of my family, in my body, and it just, I don't know. Because if I wouldn't feel comfortable just not doing that, knowing what's going in. Our healthcare system is so screwed up. Like government's like, oh, buy this and buy that, eat this. Processed seeds aren't bad for you. Seed oils, yeah, they are. And actually what they do is they make you unhealthy so that you have to buy and use their healthcare systems, and then they make the money off of it. It's big people up top. All right, I'm deep in right now. I gotta get out of this convo. I'm just talking to myself at this point. Gotta get level. Wait a minute. There we go. That's level. Sweet. What are these batteries doing here? These batteries cannot be good. They have to be like 10 years old. AAA's. Those go to a remote or something like that. How long is my bow? 73? I think it's 73 inches. Oh, it's 72 and a half. Actually, it's 72 and 3/8. Not bad. Not bad at all. The longer you make a bow, typically the safer and easier it is to make that bow. Just because you have a lot more wood to work with, and a lot more wood that's bending. So there's a lot less stress on the back of that bow that's going to be under tension. I've made some short bows in the past. I have a long form video out that I actually, from this right here, this piece of black locust that I showed earlier at the beginning, this is from that bow. I spent like 12 months. I spent over a year working on that bow, and I was just down to the end. And then I scraped a little bit too much off of one of the sections, and it formed what's called a hinge, where you take too much wood off and it permanently bends there because it's under stress. That thing broke. It would have been such a nice bow too. It's all right. You know, you live and you learn. Is this real tat or ADHD? I gotta be ADHD, man. No, it's not a real tat. Actually, what this is it's a spotted lanternfly. A spotted lanternfly. I'm sure if you're in the Northeast United States, you know what that is. It's a bug that came in from China, and I think Bucks County. It came in on a shipping container. Bucks County, they just started spreading. 2014, that was the beginning of that, and now they're everywhere. They're in D.C., they're in, I think, Ohio, Pittsburgh. They've just slowly spread out throughout the state, and they're these weird looking, I could go outside and catch one right now. They're beautiful bugs, actually. You can see on the wings, they got these red and white spots, and then the outer wings are these brown and black spots. And these things, when I tell you they jump in the blink of an eye, you'll go to touch one, and they'll just, like, it's unbelievable how fast they jump. I got one jumping in slow motion. In one frame, it was in there. In the next frame, it was, like, out of picture. It's unbelievable how much energy is in those bugs' wings, man. I tell you. Because I was filming at 120 frames a second. In 2 frames, that thing was gone. I couldn't even believe it. Yeah, religion and politics. Oh, you guys want to talk religion and politics? I won't do that. We could, though. I'm not like a jerk when it comes to that stuff. You know, I'll listen to what other people have to say. I'm not gonna judge you for it. We can have a civil conversation, but some people can't, and that's the issue. Like when you take time to listen and understand instead of trying to force your view on somebody, it really changes the world. But people are too self-centered these days. It's all about them. Man, the world's been crazy recently, and I think it's all a cover-up. Did you know that the... Okay, wait, I won't get into politics. We're not getting into politics. Oh, no, my whetstone cover just fell off. Quite unfortunate. Oh, here's a square nail. This is from... I think this is from a house in... I forget where this is from. It's something from the 1800s, though. They don't make nails like they used to. But square nails hold a lot better than round nails because the square nail is flat, as you can see. And you hammer it with the grain of the wood, and it does something weird to where it doesn't wiggle out with humidity fluctuations. What happens is when wood is in humid environments, it expands, and when it's in dry environments, it contracts. And when you have a round nail, that expanding and contracting will loosen it up and slowly force it up. So with the square nail, that expanding and contracting really doesn't act on that round nail. It holds it in place pretty well. That's why older houses require a lot less maintenance, and that's why they're still standing. That's my take on it. I could be entirely wrong. Oh, I just hit my arm really hard. It's okay though. All right, back to it. You little cheese box. Gosh, I need to put an indent in this so it doesn't keep sliding. I do have my cobble hammer. My cobbler's hammer. Is that what it's called? It's one of these. I think it's for sheet metal working. I probably look crazy doing this, but it's for a reason, I promise. There we go. Put you back up there. Get back up there on the wall. All right. Now watch, it won't slide anymore. I stand corrected. I accept my defeat. Maybe I just didn't ball peen it enough. It's gonna stay this time? Yeah, it will. You. It's not like a note of a song. I could start writing songs. I have started writing songs. They're just not good enough. Not good enough to post. I'm not good enough at guitar to put any melody over them. It's okay. I'll get there one day. Where did my cheese box go? Oh, there it is. It's a wonder I get anything done in life. I just get sidetracked for everything. That's gonna fall out at some point. Sorry. We ball. I found that a rounded edge versus a razor sharp edge almost benefits more because it what is it doing with the fibers? Dan Santana Bose on YouTube said that a rounded edge is better. I forget why he said that. And I'm trying to figure out what the reasoning is behind that. A rounded edge versus a razor edge. I guess because a razor edge would really dig into the fibers and take off more wood than you want, maybe. That's the only reason I can think. Get in there, you. Do I have my anvil here? Where's my anvil? I have an anvil from 1908. It's like 120-something pounds. I forged some nice knives on it. My great-grandfather, or it was my grandfather. One of them worked at Bethlehem Steel at one point, and I think he acquired it through there. It's a really nice anvil. It's a Fisher, and Fisher anvils are famous for not ringing. Because normally, you know, when classic blacksmith, it's like ting ting. With this one, it doesn't ring at all. It's very nice. A lot of blacksmiths will have to put chains and sandbags all around there to stop the noise. Because over time, that ringing can actually damage your hearing, believe it or not. Oh, I got some chatter. Chatter is when your blade cuts in too much and it just skips and does that and leaves these weird-looking divots in your wood. So you got to keep it pressed down nice and firm so that doesn't happen. Okay, now I should work on the handle section a little bit because the handle is really, really crude right now. As you can see. Now I have these divots in the handle section right there, and I got to carve around those, but I don't want to go too deep because I still want to have enough material for my handle. So, yeah, I don't know. I have some drawings on the side. I don't know if the marks are coming through. What I want to do with the handle. I have to take something like this file. That's not going to be fun to watch on live because it'll just be me doing this for, man, who knows how long. Probably a really long time. And I don't use power tools. That is one thing I refuse to do when I make something like this, just because it doesn't feel right. Like, you're making a primitive bow out of wood. I harvested this tree off the side of a mountain. I split those and I carried them each 3/4 way back. Just to use power tools on them? Come on. I didn't even use power tools to cut the tree down. Actually, this guy right here, this is my main man. This thing got most of that tree down. And then I had some big old axe. Actually, this guy. This is my secondary felling axe. This one was a lot more easy to control where I wanted it to go because I'm not that skilled with this. And then once I couldn't get enough angle of attack there, I went to this guy. And that was really fun. I was like 15 when I cut that tree down. It was a pivotal moment in my bow making career because I felt like a man. Got my own tree off the mountain. It was like a 50-foot tall maple. I got like 13 of these staves. There's a staple right there. Why is there a staple hanging from the ceiling? Okay. Anyways, gotta get back to it. Work on the handle. Handle. I don't want these corners. That's another thing. Because these corners are just awkward and they're not visually appealing. And it's just extra mass in the bow that we don't need. But if I take that off, I risk splitting into sections that I don't want to have wood removed from. I might just take them off right now. We're doing the hatchet. We're gonna use a hatchet, eh? I guess you guys can't really see what I'm doing because there we go. This thing is a lot of mass too. I wish I had a hatchet that was a lot lighter. But I don't at the moment. I think I left that in the mountains, unfortunately. Okay. We got that corner taken care of. Where I was saying it was all squared off. Well, now it's more rounded. That's what I want. That's more of the look I'm going for. Do I have my rasps? I think I do. I think my rasps are here. Yeah, we got rasps. All right. Okay. This is called a rasp, I think. And it's got these like, it's basically a cheese grater for wood. Put simply. It's a wood cheese grater. And it's really good at rounding edges and stuff like that. After you have all your main stuff done. And that's what I'm going to use to take wood off very slowly around these divots. Because there's so much wood that got chewed out when I split this stave here. I don't need a huge handle on this though. The guy that I'm making this for, he's got hands I think the same size as me, maybe a little bit smaller, so it wouldn't be awful to take some material off. I don't know if I can show you guys, but you can see it's like lopsided. There's a lot of material on this side and it slopes off here. So I might try to even that out and take stuff off of here. But I don't want to be too aggressive with it too early because I am prone to taking things head on like that and then being like, well, shoot, I took off too much already and I can't go back. You can't put wood back on. That's what sucks about this. You make one wrong move, the entire bow, you got to either rebuild the bow around that mistake or you got to trash it and start over. But I've never had to trash it and start over, except for that one time I tried putting recurves on a hickory Selfbow. I was steaming it, put it in a form. I didn't heat the wood up enough and it just split, which is not really a common characteristic of hickory because it's a really tension strong wood. It shouldn't have done that, but it did. Oh, you know why I did that? I was chasing a ring and I violated the ring, which is where you have the tree rings that grow like this, and I broke through one of them when I was trying to expose one solid ring. I think that's why that happened. I guess we'll never know. That was a really long time ago. Yeah, I was saying that earlier, Iceman. It's it's unbelievable the amount of effort and time that goes into making something with steel tools. I can't imagine doing it with flint or quartz even, because in my area there's a lot of quartz, not a lot of chert or flint. I guess they could have had it imported. And adze. You guys ever heard of like stone adzes? They're basically like little to borrow the phrase, not the about women, they're called hoes, like farming hoes for agriculture, except they have stone bits on them and they work the same way. They just gouge out the wood like that, very, very slowly. I wonder what they use to smooth them out, because I've seen some examples of ancient bows. They probably use something like this. I guess just a piece of sandstone. This was a war club that I had made. Let's do a test right now, actually. I'm gonna take a rough piece of wood. I'm gonna try to see how smooth I can get it just by, let me rough up a little bit. Oh, my rasp just fell. All right, we got some nicks in the wood. Let's see if I can flip the camera around. You're gonna see my feet, probably. Whoa, there they are. All right, let's see what this sandstone piece can do to the wood. It's kind of just smoothing over it, but it's actually working. Like that's completely smooth. The divots are very visible, but they're not, I can't feel them there. Sorry if it's all shaky. Yeah, that's completely smooth. Well, I guess that's how they did it. That is pretty dang sick, if you ask me. Well, now it's all polished. There's a bunch of wood fibers that are stuck in the little bits of sandstone, but not a big deal. I am not medicated, and I probably should be. If I was, I'd be able to get this bow done in no time. But I am not. So let's go. Let's do the thing. All right. What time is it? 2:37. I got a little bit of time left. We all got a little bit of time left. Life is fleeting. Oh, I gotta get past this. There we go. Now I'm gonna work on the handle. After doing 2 strokes of the draw knife, of course. On to the next. I could use the scraper, I guess. It's taking off a good amount of wood. This one's rounded, so it gets into the curves a little bit, which is good for a handle, but really bad if you're doing it on the flat sections of a limb. What's up, Hukum Rimba? How's it going? No, I'm not making a sword, I'm making a bow. It's, here, let me show you. It looks like a sword, actually, kind of. But this is a bow for shooting deer or elk or targets, whatever you want to do with it. But, yeah. My goal for the draw weight is around 50 pounds. Some of my bows draw 60. Most of them draw between 45 and 50, though. I've only made a couple. Yeah. That's where we're at right now. It looks like a bow. It really does. And I hope that I can get this done within the next 2 weeks, maybe. Because I'd like to get this thing out to the guy. He's been waiting a long time for it. An awful long time. I appreciate his patience. I should make a little bit of cash, too. That could go to buying new tools or, whatever. It's not about the money. I do it for the love of the game. I love making primitive stuff. Oh, wait. I have a primitive fishing kit. Do you guys want to see the primitive fishing kit? Maybe not, because you're watching me to make a self-bow. But I took some dog bane, which is some of the strongest fiber in the Northeast, natural fiber. And it grows wild. You harvest it in the fall. Oh, you do? Okay. All right. Let me go find it real quick. A lot of people are probably going to leave because I'm not working on the bow, but it's okay. Let's go find my fishing rod. Into the pretty flowers. They got mildew on them because it's fall, and mildew loves the fall weather. Okay, here we go. This is my primitive fishing rod. Let me go back into the garage, eh? Don't you know? And it doesn't use traditional hooks because the natives didn't have steel, obviously. They did have copper. There was a copper culture in Michigan that for 10,000 years harvested copper out of glacial, I think it's called glacial till copper or something like that. Huge chunks of natural copper just sitting there in the rocks. And it can be like hundreds of pounds sometimes. It's super pure. And they'd hammer that stuff out. And it's interesting because the natives in Michigan were using steel far longer than Europeans. We think of the Iron Age and we think of the ancient people in Europe like, oh, they're the first people who used metal. No, it was the Native Americans in North America using copper. It's called float copper. That's what it's called. Anyways, back to the fishing kit. This is just a stick, piece of black locust. And I made this yesterday, actually. I was catching some bluegill with it. Might have a video out about that later. But it's super strong stuff. I did just a classic cordage twist there. And it's about 10 feet of fishing line. And it tapers off slowly. It gets thinner and thinner. And at the end, I have a piece of deer leg bone, such as this, that I broke up into tiny little splinters. And I sat on a rock for about 2 hours, rubbing on that oh wait, I can't say that. Abrading that bone to make a sharp point. And this is what's called a gorge hook. So you'll take a worm or a grasshopper, which is what I was using yesterday, and you'll put the grasshopper on like that. And the goal is to have it go into the fish, like, what can I use as an example here? Where's a fish mouth looking thing? Okay, let's call this is the fish's throat right here. So it goes in like this, the fish swallows it, and you let the fish swallow it, and then once it swallows the hook, then you set it, and look, it's caught in their throat, right? It's not about hooking them in the lip like a normal steel hook today, but it catches a fish like that. And I don't know exactly how you get the hook out after that. I guess you kind of just, cut the fish open and remove your hook after you've dispatched it. I'm not sure. But that's exactly how a gorge hook works. And in some states, they're illegal to use. So you got to be very careful about where you're using gorge hooks. But that is an ancient fishing kit right there. And really, all you need is a piece of bone and some dog bane line. And this stuff is super strong. I probably couldn't even pull this apart if I wanted to. We can test it. And I'm a pretty strong guy. Yeah, that stuff is insanely strong. I would say that's probably 80-pound string. This goes down to maybe 25-pound, probably. You can make bowstrings out of this too. It'd be really cool to make a bowstring out of dog bane. This stuff right here for this bow. All right, I'll get back to it now. Enough with the primitive fishing kit. But yeah, I will have a video out about using this. And that'd be really cool to do a catch and cook. Oh, that'd be awesome. Okay. There's that arrowhead from earlier. I have some arrowheads inside if you guys want to see some of my top finds. I found some pretty cool stuff. Gorgets, knife blades, you name it, man. Shell beads. I found some glass beads from the 1600s as well. The natives used to catch gators in Louisiana. Oh, they use gorge hooks. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because they just swallow that thing whole and then boom, you got them. But man, that'd have to be some pretty crazy strong cordage they would have to use. What in Louisiana they have yucca plants. The yucca fiber is really strong. They use that for bowstrings and whatnot too. And I heard that if you were a slave in the South or you were a poorer person, you couldn't afford a gravestone, they would take a yucca plant and plant that above your grave. And then, if you've ever seen a yucca plant, they're beautiful. They have these big leaves at the bottom, and then in the spring they have a huge stalk that comes up, and then it fans out into these white flowers. Really gorgeous plant. But yeah, that's an interesting little tidbit on the yucca. Sucks we don't have them here. Actually, I say that, and now I'm thinking about it. There's a yucca plant right down the street from me. But that's the only one I've seen within like a 50-mile radius at least. Kind of ironic. All right. Whoa, that could have been bad. I almost took off wood that I didn't want to. Dang it. Dang it, Vice, you're supposed to hold my bow. Get back in there, you. I've said that like 5 times at least. There we go. All right, we're set. We are set. That thing ain't going anywhere. You ever strap something down on a trailer You always have to shake and go. That ain't going anywhere. Classic. Okay. We're getting into the danger zone on thickness there. I will stop removing wood from that area. You little rascal, you. Dang it. If this thing falls out one more time, I'm ending the live. I swear I will. I'll do it. I will do it. Just kidding. I probably will. Maybe I won't. You guys can hold me accountable if you want. Oh, I have a little anvil over here. It's a little 10-pound anvil. I made a knife on this too. It looked like a spoon, but it's still cut like a knife. Whoa, sorry about that. Here's a piece of wood that I blew some black powder up on. Black powder. Yeah, black English. And here's a half moon key for a 79 Predator gasoline engine. Don't know why I have that. Actually, I do know why I have that, because I put a Predator motor on a bike. The thing flew. Motorized bicycles are so fun. They're not really necessarily legal unless you get license plates and lights and mirrors and a permit for them. But man, slapping a little 2-stroke or 4-stroke engine on a bicycle, that's a good time. They use sinew. Yeah, sinew was used for bowstrings as well. One thing I don't like about sinew is it's really, it's sensitive to humidity. So unless you have it waterproofed with bear fat or some kind of wax, if you're hunting with a sinew bowstring in wet conditions, it'll start to stretch on you, and that's when you have a lot of issues. But yeah, it's a very strong string. Very strong string. That's a fun thing to say. Very strong string. All right, let's see what kind of bending properties we have going on in this limb. I'm gonna do what's called a floor tiller. I'm gonna press on this and look down the length of it. And then I'll press the same amount on the other side, and we'll see which one's bending more. And that will tell me which limb I need to work more on. And this one is bending more, so I gotta spend time working on this right here. Maybe I should work on the handle. I've been saying that. I've been saying that for so long. I'm gonna work on the handle, and then I get sidetracked by a comment. Beeswax. Yeah, beeswax is really cool. I've made candles out of beeswax before. I found a beehive. I've only found like 2 beehives in my entire life. I took that beehive, and there were no bees in it because it had fallen out of whatever dead tree that it was in. The tree had broken open, the hive was inside, the bees scattered. But the bees had scattered long before I got there, don't worry. But I took the honeycomb, and I pressed it and made it into like a beeswax turd, basically. Then I split that in half. I took a piece of twine in the center, and then I turned it back into a beeswax turd, and then I lit it, and that thing burned for hours and hours and hours. And it was a clean burn too. Very cool. And beeswax doesn't really smell. It's a clean burning wax. Even though it's a lipid, you'd think it'd be a lot of soot and black smoke, but nope. No siree. There's my cheese box. That was the limb I wanted to bend, wasn't it? Was it? Yes, it was this one, I think. And if I'm wrong, oh, it's alright, because we're still early in the process. I have time for mistakes right now. Maybe I need to change something that I'm doing. Maybe I need to change the box to keep it from smacking me like so. I'll just wrap it around, maybe. Is that the method? Yeah, there we go. The bow's moving again. Oh, this is a shit show, man. Okay, all right, I think we're good. Got some pitting over here. I'll take care of the pitting with a card scraper. If you guys are interested in more content that isn't like arrowhead hunting on my main YouTube, check out Spalding on TikTok. Capital S Palledoff, one word. I got some fun little videos on there, a lot of random stuff. It's not really focused on anything specific, it's just kind of me screwing around, making fun videos. Got a video of me eating prunes off a tree. That was a good time. That was pretty recent. In Maryland, I was walking, and I was like, those are prunes. Not prunes, figs. I was like, those are figs. So I was eating figs, and they were just, oh, so good. And there's a tiny window where figs are actually ripe, because once they ripen, they're gone in a couple days, so you got to eat them while they're there. Oh, but they're so good. I got a leather ferret apron I'll send you. Nah, you don't need to worry about that, man. I got enough stuff to handle. I think I might have some leather laying around. I do have there's a buckskin hanging over there on the wall with the hair still on it. That might be good for it. That'd be funny. I just cut a hole in the buckskin and drape it over me. That'd be wild. And I'd look like a Paleo Indian hunting mammoth or something. Ooh, dressing up to make primitive bows? They call that cosplay, don't they? Huh. I never understood cosplaying. Like, people dressing up in anime suits. I guess if that's your interest, cool. It's always been a strange idea to me, you know? Alright. I wonder if there's still good marrow inside this bone. Definitely not. What does it sound like? That sounds like a lot of good gorge hooks to me. I really want to catch something with this. I was fishing yesterday with it, and I had a grasshopper on, and I threw it at this log, and a huge bass. This thing, I mean, not huge, but huge for the standards of catching something with this, just gulped that grasshopper down. And instinctively, being the fisherman that I am, I set the hook, which is pretty stupid because this is a gorge hook. You're supposed to let the fish carry it, swallow it, it goes down the throat and gets lodged. But yeah, big screw up by me. That would have been a really cool catch too, because I was recording when it happened. Oh well. You live and you learn. You live and you learn. You can't always get what you want. YouTube's probably gonna copyright strike me for that. Oh, that was a really good one. What's you guys' favorite song? Oh, you said Billy. Oh, he's talking to Billy. All right. Aren't you doing the same with your mullet and whole bone hooks deal? I'm confused by what you mean. I'm not sure what you're trying to convey there. Huh. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like I don't speak English. Does that make sense? Somebody will say something to me, and I'm just like, uh-huh, what? Maybe there's something wrong with me. Actually, there's nothing wrong with me. I am who I am. I am. I guess it's not wrong if it's not inherently hurting somebody, right? I mean, it hurts somebody when I ask them to say the same thing 4 times in a row. That hurts me because I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm an idiot. I'm probably deaf too. I worked around a lot of machinery for a while without hearing protection, and definitely noticed some negative side effects of that. Okay, we got this limb. That handle is looking pretty rough still. But where'd my rasp go? Oh, my rasp. My rasp fell on the ground. That's right. I remember now. Got it. Come on, you. Scram, hooligan. This is literally just a cheese grater. It is a cheese grater that they have rounded off into a cylinder. It's kind of fun. The handle is taking form, indubitably. No power tools, no sir. Oh, what was I doing? What was I doing? I was working on the... Oh, I think I'm dehydrated. There's something up. I was in the middle of a task just there, and I asked myself, what was I doing? What the heck, man? What the heck, dude? One thing that really annoys me with these is it fills up with the wood shaving sometimes. Like, it just get caught in there. And if you leave it for too long, it'll jam up in there, and it just becomes like a solid stick of wood. And it doesn't really remove all the wood that you want it to when it does that. So you gotta constantly stop and tap out all those little extra shavings. Handle test. He is a... Does he draw? Yeah, he draws with his right. Left. Okay. That's not horrible. But if he wants to give the bow to somebody who is ambidextrous, should I make the handle even? Or should I make it a left-handed handle dominant? We'll be alright. We'll make it somewhat ambidextrous. How about that? Does that make everybody happy? Great. If it doesn't, you can leave. There's so much material up on top here. This is a gigantic handle at the moment. And I could take this high part off with the draw knife, but I'm afraid to do that, honestly, because every time I've done that, I've taken too much wood off this lower area, because I'll take wood off and it'll cut, and it'll just keep cutting. I'm not making the same mistake twice. Are Renaissance fairs historically accurate? Nah. If you're left-handed, you just ain't right. Brother, I am left-handed. I write with my left, and whenever I'm writing something, I was applying for a job, like signing documents and stuff, and the guy was like, "Oh, you're left-handed, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yes, sir, I am." He was, so my son's left-handed too. He's a good kid. I'm like, all right, man. What? Yeah. It's just funny. People just comment the weirdest stuff about you being left-handed. Right-handers don't know the pain. They don't know the pain. Or you'll be sitting next to somebody who's right-handed and you're left, and your elbow is like hitting them. It's horrible. It is so... It's not that bad. I'm being dramatic, but yeah. It's just awkward sometimes. And is that because that's how my brain is, or is that how I decided to start writing? Like in kindergarten, was I just like, which hand am I going to use? Like, I don't know. Is that genetic? Is the hand you use to write with genetic, or is that a learned trait? I guess it could be learned, because there are people who have taught themselves to be ambidextrous. I don't see the use in that. Like, what's the... Oh, unless you wanna like hide your handwriting and make it seem like... No, that wouldn't make sense either. Writing a cryptic letter like... What even was that? Where is my brain going to? Where is my mind? Where? I love the Pixies. The Pixies have some good music out there. What's your guys' favorite song? I want to hear your favorite song. Then why did you engage? Didn't direct a comment at you. I don't know if you're talking to me or not. I don't know. I'm just going to keep rasping away. This handle is actually coming along nicely that I took material off that side, and I am very glad I did so. No regrets, no regrets. I'm going to take out a divot in here for the webbing of your hand to sit in, so that when you have your hand on it, this will be really comfy and it'll hold it nice and steady. It'll be like the bow is holding your hand. Actually, when you're shooting a self-bow, you don't want to be holding it like this. You want to be holding it almost like this for some reason. Someone taught me that, and it changed how my shots were like just placed, I guess. I think it has something to do with being loose in this area of your forearm And when you're like this, you know, you're kind of shaky, and I don't know. It just changed how my shots placed, and I really did like that. So I guess there's a tip. If you want to try it out, be my guest, let me know. Maybe that's just basic archery and I don't know anything. It could be just that too. All right, this is a big chunk. Time to bring out the heavy guns. This guy right here. A double handled push rasp. That's what we'll call it. That's not the actual name, but it is now. I find I remove a lot more wood going against the grain than with it, which doesn't really, that goes against a lot of logic of woodworking, but hey man, whatever works, works, am I right? I write with my left hand and shoot rifle with my right eye. I shoot people with my, oh shoot man. Dang, Billy, you alright? Should I be worried about you? When I shoot a pistol, I leave both eyes open, actually. I don't close one or the other. I think if you have both open in a defense situation, you're at an advantage there. But even when I'm shooting long range, I'll keep both eyes open, even if I'm looking in a scope or something like that. Not sure why, but that's what I like to do. I think snipers do that. Snipers will do that to kind of watch their target. As you can imagine, in a combat situation, that could be pretty dang useful. Yep, draw a knife at the handle section that I said I wouldn't be draw knifing at, but I am. Deal with it. Oh, I gotta do the other side too after this. It's cutting through that like butter. I am pleasantly surprised. Jesus was indeed a carpenter. Joseph, his father, was a big carpenter, and he was his little apprentice. People always say alcohol is evil and alcohol is the devil. Well, if alcohol is evil and alcohol is the devil, then why was Jesus' first miracle turning water into wine? Riddle me this. Just saying, Mormons. I guess Mormons don't really recognize Jesus as Savior, do they? Mormons are more like, they got like giant sky daddy in the cosmos or something. I don't know. No Mormon hate. I'm just saying it's a different perspective for sure. Whoa. I need to take something off. Oh, I need to take this whole section off. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should get a chisel. All right, we're gonna have to do some in-the-moment engineering. I'll take this piece of black walnut. I'll set this under here because it fits perfectly, but I don't want to ruin and dent the back, so I'm gonna take a rag. No, I'm gonna take a piece of cardboard. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll set this up here like that, and then we'll get some tape to make sure it stays secure. We got some painter's tape right here. It's not gonna leave any weird residues. Where is the open end? There it is. Cool. Oh, of course it does that. And then we'll do this. No, we'll do this. No, we'll do this. There we go. That's gonna stay like that. Cool. Then I get my chisel after I do one more round of tape. Just for gits and shiggles. Nice. Nice. Chisel, chisel, chisel. Miss Frizzle. With the frizz? No way. Good old magic school bus. All right. Chisel is dented, but it will get the job done after I sharpen it. I don't have any oil. Where is the oil? This is gonna be gross, but it's what I gotta do. There we go. Sorry if that was a little disgusting, but I don't have any oil on me at the moment. This is the best I could do. Yeah, that'll work. It was already pretty sharp to begin with. I'm just making sure I get a good solid cut there. Right now what I'm doing is stroping. What's called stroping. It gets the burr off the edge. Okay. Hammer. Do I need a hammer for this? Yeah, I do. Ball peen. I should probably use a rubber mallet, shouldn't I? Not a ball peen. There we go. Is this harder rubber? That's soft rubber. All right. You should never chisel toward yourself. That's why I'm not going to do that. The natives didn't have chisels, but they kind of did. They had stone ones. But I don't think they would have been hammering like I am now, because that would send impact fractures down their working edge. So they would no, would they? Yeah, they probably would. I'm just thinking about how a stone tool would be used in this situation. They probably wouldn't have humongous sections of handle right here like I do, because that would be so much work to get off. It wouldn't be really worth it. They'd probably just have a bend through the handle bow. But some Susquehannock warriors had bows with stagnant handles, so who knows? Sorry if that's loud. I don't intend for it to be too annoying, but it's what I gotta do. Draw knife, where are you? There you are. I just thought of something. I have a carpenter's pencil. Where did it go? Here it is. And I have a round pencil sharpener. But a carpenter pencil is flat and square. Does that work the same? Does it do the same? It does! Oh wait, this is meant for carpenter pencils. Look, there's a square end. I never used that before. That is really cool. You learn something new every day. All right, what do I want to do with this handle here? What do I want to do with the handle? We'll take off stuff here and down there and from here down off that. All right, we got some wood to remove here. Cool. Draw knife time. Now that's set still, it might be a lot easier to do, actually. I wish I could do like a double camera kind of thing. Like I had a camera on the ceiling and it could project, show an image down of what I'm actually doing. That'd probably be more enjoyable for you guys. Am I able to do that? I don't know. Oh, I'd have to run it to a monitor and then from the monitor to the, yeah. Nah, too much. Too much just to get an angle of a piece of wood. Unless you guys like this enough, I could put some effort into it and make it happen. Okay. Back to the rasp. Going back to the round rasp. The guy making the video brought it up. Stop trying to police the rest of us. Hey, man. Do what you will, you know? It's a free country. Sure, it's my comment section, but my comment section is full of free speech, so go ahead and say what you want. I don't care. Just be glad you're not born in Russia. Oh, my videos got restricted in Russia. I don't know why, but I guess Putin has beef with me or something. Just kind of interesting. Like, I've never even mentioned Russia. I've never said anything or done anything on my videos that would be like restricted in Russia that I can think of. It's just strange. Did you hear about the Putin gifted one of his motorcycles to a random dude in Alaska? Like, no connection. He was just like, "Here's my bike." And the guy was like, "Well, thank you, Vladimir." Super weird. Interesting guy, for sure. Wish I had some music going. I don't know if I'd get demonetized for using copyrighted material. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. My most recent video, I was listening to some music, and I think that got demonetized. Not a big deal. I don't really do this stuff for the money. I do it for the fun. It's just annoying. Like, the music was in the background, you know? Come on. Here's what we got going on right now with the handle section. Pretty decent, if you ask me. I need to slowly taper that off to this point, and then from there, I've got to take off all that area. But yeah. Oh, what's going on, Miles? Spyware. Yeah, the bike probably did have spyware, honestly. Russian motorcycle. The guy was driving one from the 40s. Oh, that's awesome, man. I didn't know the full story. Glad someone here did. Still, though, driving a 1940s motorcycle in this day and age, that's just pretty cool. That's pretty cool stuff. The old Indian motorcycles are my favorite. I mean, they're probably not super reliable, but they just look so dang cool. I would ride that before I rode a Harley. Just kidding. I would definitely ride a Harley. I have beef with the Harley guy stereotype for no reason. It's just a joke. Honestly, it's probably because I wish I had a Harley. If I'm being honest with myself. You know those dudes with the beards and the girl in the back just cruising down the highway? Like, they're living life, you know? Dude, the comment section's getting nasty. Calm down, fellas. It's all good. This noise, man. It's not upsetting me. I hope it's not annoying you guys. All right. Let me remove my jank jig there, if you can even call that a jig. My crackhead contraption of a stand. All right. Here's the bow so far. Here's what we got done on it today. Handle section coming along nicely. Thank you all for watching. How do I end the live? Oh, I guess I press X. All right.